chance for Bristol City to get that elusive home win as we take on second from bottom Barnsley. They're only in second bottom from obviously Derby having that points deduction earlier on in the season, but it's going to be a very interesting game as we obviously welcome Barnsley, who haven't won away all season, and we're obviously looking for that first home win since January. And I'm now joined by Bristol City reporter Gregor and Barnsley reporter Doug. So we'll start off first, Gregor. We're obviously coming off the back of a 3-0 away win at obviously West Brom last time out. Today we're obviously facing Barnsley. They haven't won away, we haven't won at home. Do you think today's finally could be our best chance to get that home win?
Yes and no with respect to Barnsley. I think they finished the game well on Sunday, and yeah, sometimes you look at these games and obviously Barnsley, they're winless in 12 games, obviously second from bottom, and you might fancy on paper Bristol City to win this one. It doesn't always work out that way, and obviously we know all too well about Bristol City's problems on their home ground. Obviously coming up to 18 games now without a win at Ashton Gate. We were working out the other day, 628 days, 26 days since Bristol City fans saw a win in Pearson here as well. So yes, hopeful, think it'll be close, but not too sure they will win today. Maybe a draw might be a smart outcome.
And then Doug, obviously Barnsley coming off the back of a defeat to Sheffield United at Oakwell last weekend. Obviously last season they had an absolutely amazing season, getting into the playoffs and just missing out slightly in the semi-finals of the playoffs. What do you think's been the change of this difficult start to the season for Barnsley? Has it been the new manager hasn't been losing some of your best players, or has it just been that sort of second season syndrome after such a great season?
I think it's probably a bit of all of them. Barnsley never expected to finish fifth last season, so they did overachieve, but I think it was realistic to expect mid-table at least this season. Why have they dropped below? Obviously the manager hasn't worked out so far. Been a big change in style from very direct long ball last season to trying to pass the ball up the pitch. This season it hasn't really worked so far. Lost a couple of players, but not that many. A few more really important players have been injured as well, but it just hasn't really clicked with the manager so far, and I think that's probably the biggest issue. He's under massive pressure as we arrive here today.
And do you think if you do lose today, do you think you could be looking for a new manager as you head into that sort of winter period of the season?
Possibly. I'm not sure unless there's a really big wide score line it will happen today. It might do, but it's not the sense I get. There's a really important week coming up for Barnsley with obviously this game against the side struggling at home, a chance for a win or at least a point, and then home to Derby on Wednesday and then Hull on Saturday. The other two teams are in the relegation zone, so it's make or break really this week, I feel, for the manager.
Yeah, definitely. And then Gregor, obviously Bristol City over the last few seasons struggled during the winter period with obviously games on Saturday, Tuesday. With Bristol City having a midweek game this week and those 3 games, do you think it is vital that we do need to get a good few points and possibly even a win today as we sort of head into that busy period of the season?
I definitely think Nigel Pearson needs a result. Might be able to get away with a draw today if they were to win at Birmingham in midweek. We saw last week at West Brom there was a section of supporters who chanted against the manager, said he didn't know what he was doing when he took George Tanner off, and were chanting that he was going to be sacked in the morning at one point as well. So yeah, he does need a result. I think he might be able to, as I say, get away with this one today. I was just wondering if there was a result that possibly saw both Barnsley and Bristol City change their managers. He was on the Football Clichés podcast this week. They were saying that apparently there is a precedent for it. I think Carlos Carvajal was sacked after a 2-1 defeat that led to Gary Monk losing his job at Middlesbrough as well. So would a 1-1 draw today not be good enough for either side? We'll see.
And then obviously we were talking off camera just before we started. Both Bristol City and Barnsley haven't scored too many goals at home and away obviously this season. Who could be a threat to that Bristol City backline if Barnsley were going to go on and look for the win today?
Barnsley's main man really is always Corey Woodrow, former Bristol City loanee. He's got 52 goals I think for the club in 4 seasons, 3 this season, which makes him the top scorer. Sort of a lot of question marks about, is he dropping too deep, why is he taking corners and free kicks and stuff when he's the main man, he should be in the box, so that's a big talking point for the manager and the fans at the moment. But other than him, I would say 2 players who came off the bench to score last week against Sheffield United, Devante Cole, Andy Coulson, and Aaron Lera Seka. They both scored their first goals of the season, and they look really dangerous. So I would expect them to start today, and they could provide a threat.
Yeah, and then finally your score prediction?
I would go for 2-1 for City. You're going to do it today.
Yeah, I'd take that. And Doug?
2-2.
Oh, I don't know if I'd take that, but thanks guys. Barnsley fan Taylor outside Ashton Gate ahead of this big clash at the bottom of the league, really, isn't it, at this point in the season? So first of all, Taylor, then, it's been a difficult start to the season for Barnsley, hasn't it? Do you think that is sort of a second season syndrome sort of thing after such a brilliant season last year, or is it something different, sort of the manager or losing some of the players we had last season?
Yeah, I'd say it's more of a mix. We've lost a few players, but we've still got the core of the squad that were there last season. Obviously, we lost the manager, Alex Mauer, and obviously American international Dalo DK. But like I say, we've still got the core of the squad there. A lot of it is down to the manager, and for me, it's the poor investment into the squad, not spending money where we should have done. Because on last season's squad, I think if we would have developed, we could have pushed on further, but it's obviously not started how we wanted to.
And you're currently 23rd as we head into November and that sort of winter period of the season. With obviously the busy schedule that all EFL teams have during the sort of November, December sort of time, do you think it's vital you do sort of start to change this form around? And are you looking at Bristol's home form today and think this could be a start of changing that form around?
Well, yeah, with the 3 games we've got coming up, we've got you, Derby and Hull. Well, on paper, you're all down there with us, aren't you? Obviously, our home form is nothing to shout about lately. I'm not focusing too much on that because we need to improve our performance as a whole. But today would be an ideal start to kick on if we were going to kick on anytime soon.
And Bristol City fans are obviously know Cooley Woodrow. I think that's it. Yeah, Cooley Woodrow very well. Is he the man for Barnsley that if they are going to threat Bristol City, it will be him?
He's the man I put my money on. He knows how to put the ball in the back of net. But we've got players around him who are good enough. It's just whether the manager plays him in the right position and if we can deal with his tactics.
Yeah. And then finally, what's your prediction for today? Do you think Barnsley can get that win?
I've got to be positive. We've got to win at some point this season. I'm going to go for 2-1 Barnsley, but I could easily be wrong.
Yeah, but it's one of those games which can be very unpredictable. It could be a 1-0 Bristol City win, but it could also be, I wouldn't be surprised if you came out with 2 late goals again that we've had.
Yeah, it's literally the most unpredictable game of the season so far, with both forms taken into account, 100%. So it's going to be interesting.
Yeah, it will be. Thanks.
Armistice Day is a week on Wednesday. Bristol City Football Club, you'll see on the big screen and around the pitch and Second World Wars and other conflicts, including 10 who lost their lives. We salute the
absolutely battered, but get in there, come on. 1-0 now, we need to get another one, come on! Good finish, come on City! We actually scored! Yes! Come on! Get in there! Yes! How has that happened? I do not know! Get in there! Andi Weinmann! Gets in there.
Bristol City once again scoring number 14 and
Get in there. Come on. We have turned this around. Get in. Get in there. Come on, Andy. Come on, Six. Just before the break as well. Get in. Give it to him. Go on. A tackle. Rob Atkinson, goal line clearance, gets in there. Red Army! Red Army! Red Army! Literally 1 minute to go. Red Army! Red Army! Woo! Na 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 na. Woo! Ole 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 ole. Surely can't be much longer. Please, come on. Bristol City. Na 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 na. Ooh. Ooh. Go on, Naki. Yes, Naki. Well done, son. Yes. Come on. Please. Ole, ole, ole. Ole, 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 ole. Oh, Bristol City. Na 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 na. Ooh. Please, come on. Can't be much longer. Don't mess about with it. Go on, Andy. Go on. Hold it, hold it, hold it, hold it in the corner. Go on, son. Yeah! We've done it! Yes! Come on! Yes! Get in there! Come on! Get in there! Come on! We wanna move! Get in there, lads! Oh! Get in! Come on! We've done it! Get in! Oh, I can't believe it. Get in there. I forgot how this feels. I know. 4. Said I